Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. I'm Jerry Ford and tonight is Thursday night mini classes. And what are we going to do tonight? We're going to make these cute little tote bags. Actually, you can adapt them to any size out of plastic bags. Why? Because a lot of plastic bags end up in the landfill or in our oceans, polluting the earth. And this way I've got a new use for them that gives you a reusable, washable, cute little bag, little tote bag. You can make them pretty much any size. It depends on how big of a plastic bag you've got to start with. So this one was made from one kitchen garbage bag. And so it's actually makes 4 layers and some ribbon. And it's made a nice little tote bag. You can make them much bigger. If you use 2 of the kitchen garbage bags, you can make a great big tote bag. In fact, you can even make it as thick or as thin a plastic as you like. This one is using 4 layers of plastic, so is this one. But you could make it 6 or even 8 layers. It just depends on how many layers you've used together. And this one is a cute one because I've even taken the leftover pieces and made a pocket for it. So this one is smaller. This is made using 4 plastic bags from Walmart and Lowe's, anywhere you get plastic bags. And you can get plastic bags in different colors and different sizes. This is using the standard size grocery bag. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, for this project, you're going to need ordinary grocery bags. And depending on where you shop, they come in different colors. So you just need to start collecting bags. For this project, you're going to need 4 plastic bags. Another thing you could also use is the kitchen garbage bags, the big, tall plastic bags. You can use those. Those are almost always in white. I've not seen them in colors very often. Okay, you're going to need some parchment paper, just ordinary parchment paper that you use for baking. You're going to need 2 large sheets of that. You're going to need your iron. Now this iron, I'm going to do it partially on this little small iron. It takes a nice big iron, and you want it not to have any steam, no water in it at all, and a pair of scissors to cut your bags apart. You're going to need a rotary cutter and a mat in order and of course your sewing machine with matching or contrasting thread. Okay, and I'm using this ribbon to make the tote bag. Okay, and let's go ahead and start taking these bags apart. I'm going to straighten it up. And I'm going to cut the top and the bottom part out. Okay, and I'm going to keep these because I may need these for something. You can always use these for pockets or something small. So I'm just going to cut those apart so that I have just a full sheet, whatever this is. Okay. And like I said, these can make the pockets. So you may not want to throw them away. Okay. Going to cut the bottom out. If it's got little holes in the bag, it's no big deal. You're going to be fusing 4 layers together. So one bag with little tiny holes isn't going to really make any difference. Okay, and then I'm going to cut along. Here's just a line because I want to make single sheets. I want a nice big bag. So I'm cutting it 30 inches long by about maybe 11 or about 13 inches by 30-inch piece of plastic. And I'm going to fuse these together. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of my bags, and I will be back. Okay, I'm laying out my great big sheet of parchment paper, and I have a board that's covered in fabric that I'm going to use to press on. An ironing board is a little too squishy, so if you do this on your ironing board, you're going to want to go ahead and put another piece of wood or something on top of it. Okay, I've got my pieces a little bigger than 30 inches by 30. I've got 3 layers together. I'm going to start with 2. Okay, you're going to take another big piece of parchment paper. You don't want to be touching your iron to this plastic. That will be a disaster. So I'm going to line this up as best as I can. I'm going to sort of make sure everything is covered. And you want your iron at its highest setting, and then just start pressing it. Okay, what is it doing? I think it's too hot. Okay, that's going to happen here. This iron's too hot. Actually, what I would do is start at a lower setting. Well, here, let me switch to another part, because these bags are very thin. The thinner the bag, you don't need as much temperature going. Okay, and this on top. Okay, I'm going to try a lower setting, because you saw I got melting. So I got this on a lower setting, and I want to quickly pass it over. And this, you'll see it start to, is it fusing? No, not yet. Okay, so it's fusing. I'm going at a lower temperature. If this isn't working, then gradually, because every iron is different. And usually it helps to have the bigger irons, because it goes a lot faster. Let's check it. Okay, it's fusing, so that's the proper temperature for this iron. Okay, I'm going to start over here and just go to the corners, fuse as much as I can. Just keep checking all the time. And this takes some time, so you're going to put one layer down, and I'm going to fuse this whole layer. And like I said, I'm going to take my time to do this. Don't rush it. Hardest part is getting it right for the plastic bags that you have. Okay, come down here. Don't worry about it being perfect if it's got a little rippling, and it is going to shrink, and that is normal. So I'm going to go ahead and finish pressing this layer off camera. Okay, and then once you've finished one side, then you'll do the other two bags. And hopefully this one should go smoother, because of the fact that I have already tested my temperatures. In fact, these small bits that you've saved from the edges of the bag, these are good to test your temperatures on your iron. And you want to take your time and fuse one side, turn it over, and fuse it from the other side, and then you'll get a relatively flat piece. And you just keep checking to see if you're getting adhesion. It's not going to go even, and that's okay, because you're going to cut this back. And just keep testing and testing and testing, and this takes a little bit of time. Now when you finish fusing both two sheets together, then go ahead and put those two sheets together and fuse all four together. I will be right back. Okay, so I pressed it from both sides. Now I'm going to put the two layers together and press another set. Another thing you can use is these large white kitchen garbage bags. These work really well, the trash bags. And this one, I just cut the bottoms. I didn't cut the sides. I may later, but I'm going to simply start in the middle and work my way to the outside. This is two layers. Just make sure you don't hit the plastic. And start working towards one end. And let's see how well. Now this might work even better, because this, yeah, see, that's already fused together rather nicely. And I like it. It's big, plain, white, and solid. And I think I'm going to make my bag out of this one instead. You just need a larger work surface because it is a much bigger piece. And it doesn't shrink nearly as badly as the garbage bags. Oh, that's good infused. Very nice. And then I'll just keep working towards all the ends till I get the whole bag together. Then I'll cut it in half and make it 4 layers. So I will be back as soon as I fuse this. Okay, here's the 4 layers fused together. Here now I'm going to go back and check any place I missed. I'm going to touch up. I'm going to go ahead and cut these relatively straight. This is going to give me a relatively small bag, not really big. It'll give me a bigger one, but it will be narrow. Or I could make a wider, shallow bag. So that's what I think I'm going to do with this one. And that way all the writing will be on the right side. Now this is the trash bag. And the trash bag, I'm also going to make a small bag. But I have a lot of room here. Now this is 2 layers fused together. I could take another bag. And now I can make a great big out of 2. I would need 2 of these in order to make a large bag, but I'm going to make a smaller one. So I'm actually just going to simply fold this in half. Because this is a thicker plastic, it didn't shrink as bad. And I didn't even cut the bottom or the sides, I just left them. Okay. And so now I'm going to fuse for 4 layers of this. And then we'll compare how the 2 bags look, because this is an experiment that I'm doing too. It's actually going pretty well, and I've got just the right temperature. It didn't shrink as bad, and it took a lower temperature in order to fuse them, but they fused really nicely. There we go. Yeah, it's fusing really well. And it's a lot flatter. Now, yes, you're going to have some texture no matter what the bag is. So I will be back. Now, if you end up with some air bubbles like I have here, because I didn't cut this, I just folded it, just take a couple pinholes. There's another one. And just refuse it. Not refuse. Fuse it again. And now those bubbles go flat. See? Really nice. Is it a little textured? Sure. That's okay. That's just going to add to the charm of the bag. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is rotary cut these together. See, this is going to make a decent size bag. And it's thicker. To compare the 2, I like the way this turned out better. And, oh, I still have some more bubbles right here that I can take care of. Yeah, see how that's separated a little bit? You know, just touch it up here and there. And I'm just going to rotary cut these straight. I'm going to leave this seam. I'm not going to cut that. So I'm just going to square up the sides and the top. And then I'll be right back and we'll construct this bag. So I'm going to have no seam at the bottom, seams at the side. And so first of all, I want to pick how big a handle I want. So I want to cut pieces for my handle, and I'm figuring, 24 inches is good enough for a handle. So I'm going to cut 2 of these for the handle for this one. And the other one's going to be constructed pretty much the same way. The only thing is the dimensions are going to be different because different bags, different size bags are going to give you different size pieces of plastic fabric to work with. Okay, so probably want that like right about there. And that is 2 inches in from each side. And I'm going to sew these about a 1/2 inch away because they're going to get caught up into the top, because I'm going to be using this for my top. So I want to put this rather close. Wrong sides down. And I'm going to sew these into place on the sewing machine about 1/4 of an inch away, just to base them down. Okay, so let's set up this machine. Okay, I'm going to just with a regular 2.5 to 3 millimeter wide long stitch, and I'm just going to simply sew this on here, and then on the other side. I don't like those scissors. And then 3 inches over here, or 2 inches in from the edge. Could be more. You could go a little closer if you like, but I want this fairly apart, about not quite up to the top, but close. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to keep that folded down. I'm going to take another piece of ribbon as wide as this piece is, and I'm going to use clips. You don't want to use pins because, and here she comes. Hello, Lily. I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to clip it in, but I'm going to clip it from the other side because I want the edges to finish. Oh, we're not taking no for an answer today, are we? And then I'm going to sew this about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, and you can see here that I just have a tiny bit sticking out of the ribbon, just so I can barely see it. I'm going to clip it into place, and then now I will sew from this side. Okay, at the top edge, I'm going to stitch a box. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, that's the handle from this side. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, and I will do that off camera. Okay, I have sewn both sides of this together. So you have 2 ends, so I'm going to put them together in the middle, and I'm going to clip it together, and I'm just going to sew a double row of stitching. It's not necessary to zigzag. It's not necessary to do a French seam. You could if you wanted to, if you wanted this enclosed, but this is all plastic, so it's really not necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch, and I'm stitching through fabric right here, or through the ribbon, and I'm going to double stitch that. I'm not going to double stitch the plastic because then you're perforating it. Just to reinforce it. Like I said, it's not necessarily to do a zigzag. I just want a double row of stitching. Okay, same thing on this side. I'm going to clip. And I'm going to box my corner, so while it's still inside out, I'm going to take the top here. I'm going to clip it down. So I don't want to put extra holes in here. I want to measure about, maybe 1.5 inches in. I'm just going to take a pencil, take the clip out, and then I'm going to just double sew this down. Alright, and repeat on the other side. Match up your bottom seam and your side seam if you've not done box corners before. And then I'm going to mark it 1.5 inches away. and my little tote bag is finished. I'm not going to cut these off. Okay, so I'm not going to cut those off. I'm just going to leave them. Clip any loose threads. Now you could just take this and just finger press or crease it. There. Let's give it a good finger press. Maybe just put a book on it or something. And now you've got a really nice little tote bag that you can take to the market. Yeah, and this is hand washable. So this is nice, easy to use. Now I'll go ahead and do the other one. This bag I'm going to do a little bit different because this is the long skinny one. So instead I'm going to seam it from the side. So actually I'm going to put longer handles on here. And I'm going to put a pocket. So this is the scrap leftover end. So this is big enough for a pocket. But I'm going to reinforce all this. So I've measured about 3 inches from the this side that's got the fold. And I'm going to do about a 3/8 of an inch seam. So I put this at 3 3/8, another mark on this side. Okay, so I'm going to transfer the marks to the other side. So I'm going to just take a pencil and just make a mark where this is going to go. And same thing here. Here's the other one. Make the mark. I'm just using pencil because that's going to be covered up. Put this top on because I'm going to have the straps going this way and this at the top to reinforce the top. So I cut one piece long enough to go all over the top, and I'm going to sew that on just like I did before. So right along the edge, about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the ribbon, just to seal this down. Okay, now you could go ahead and put another piece of ribbon on the back to double reinforce that top, but it's not really necessary because the weight of whatever you're going to carry is going to be on the handles of the purse. So I'm going to, again, after I've stitched that, then from the right side, I'm going to edge stitch this. And I will trim this even. Now, if you like, you could just stitch along the edge of this ribbon. It isn't adding much to it, but visually it will make it look nicer. Then I'm going to stitch about 1/4 of an inch in from that edge. And that double reinforces the top. Now I'm ready to put the handles and the pocket piece in. I'm only going to do one pocket. I don't have enough for 2 pockets. So I'm going to do the one with the pocket first. You could put pockets on both sides. Okay, I'm going to center this in between and just tape it down. I'm not covering up the line. The folded edge is here at the top. Okay. And I'm just going to tape it in place for now. Then I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm going to place my ribbon right along this edge. Starting at the bottom and taping it right along. Here. I put the pocket in between the 2 lines where this is going to go. And I'm going to tape in the handle, which is just a piece of grosgrain ribbon. I'm going to place this right here. And And tape it into place. Oops, too much tape. Here. And tape up to here. And it's just held in place. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to do the inside edge first. So I'm just going to simply sew that. This is going to sew the pocket as well as the grosgrain ribbon. And see, the bottom of the pocket is just aligned with the bottom of the bag. Put that up straight. Okay. I'm going to reinforce that like that. And come down this side. And the same thing here. I'm going to start on the inside of the pocket because that way I don't have to worry about the tape. So here's the nice little pocket. So you've got a little pocket. Okay, I'm going to repeat for the other side. Get right sides together, just like we did before. And clip. Okay, I'm going to go about 3/8 inch in. Sew the bottom. And box my corners. Now this time I'm going to box them a little less. So here's you want to make sure you make a nice crease there so you know where your side is, at least on the one side. Match your bottom to the top, to the side here. I think I will put mine in maybe 1 1/4 inches because those were a little wide. And then draw straight across. 1 1/4 inches is good. I like this one. Now this one you've got a top and a bottom seam. So just remember, if you folded this side towards one direction, you want to fold the other side in the same direction. Okay, match my seams on this one. Okay, so the corners are boxed, so we turn it right sides out. There's the side with the pocket, so I will just finger press this. This turned out really cute. Okay, so now you've got another little bag that you can take shopping or to keep your projects in. So, and it's got a little pocket. Small little pocket, not much of one, but you know, it depends on how big a bag you start with and the scraps you've got left over. You could also do a pocket of fabric if you like and have it come up higher. It's a nice sturdy little bag. It'll carry quite a bit of things. It doesn't need to be finished, doesn't need to be lined on the inside, but it turned out really cute. Okay. All finished. And so here's our 2 bags. This one is using the kitchen garbage bags. This is 1 kitchen garbage bag. Like I said, you can make a much bigger bag, but you would need to have 2 of the big kitchen garbage bags. So that turned out really cute. And this is made from grocery bags. It's a unique and cute bag. Kids would like to have them, but they're good to carry things. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at waltzquilt@yahoo.com, and I'll be happy to answer anything I can. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video. Until next time, happy sewing. Bye.